Member for Oak Bay, Gordon Head.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, last Tuesday, the Premier told AM 1130 that she acknowledged more needs to be done to support the survivors of sexual assault on BC post-secondary campuses. The Premier stated, and I quote, "Rape kits need to be available, trained staff need to be available, and some universities and colleges are doing a more thorough job than others. So the Minister of Health is going to go out and have that conversation because we have to make sure that help is available," end quote. Honourable Speaker, I fear that the Premier may have missed the larger point about the conversation we need to have. And with respect and through you to the Premier, Honourable Speaker, we don't just need more rape kits. We need to take this issue head on, recognise that our post-secondary campuses aren't always providing a safe environment for BC students, and we need to have a plan in place to prevent assaults from happening in the first instance. Honourable Speaker, when the University of Ottawa surveyed its student body last year, it found that 44% of female students experienced sexual violence or unwanted sexual touching while attending the university. I'm asking the government to take a clear leadership role and make a clear statement that this is a responsibility they will act upon. Honourable Speaker, through you to the Premier, does she support the need for sexual assault policy legislation for post-secondary institutions?
Madam Premier.
Thank you. Being raped is one of the worst things that can happen to any woman. And whether that is intimate partner assault, whether that's sexual abuse at the hands of a family member, or whether it's an assault from a stranger. And any woman who has experienced it will tell you it leaves a lifetime of scars. We hope that for women who are raped, that they can find a way to heal, and many do. Some will say they became stronger as a result. But all women who have been sexually assaulted are changed. And it's something that should not be happening in our society. Sadly, it appears to be more prevalent on university campuses than most other places in our society. There is more that we can do and more that we should do. The Minister of Advanced Education has begun that work. I certainly welcome the interest of the member from Oak Bay. I've had a chance to look at his bill, Bill 205, and I'd certainly look forward to working with him on finding a way that we can either pass this bill or amend it and pass a similar version to it in our legislature. We need to do more to protect women on campus from sexual assault, because these life-changing traumatic events don't need to happen. And as a society, we can and we must do more to prevent them.
Member for Oak Bay, Gordon Head, on a supplemental.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, and thank you to the Premier for her response. I'm very pleased to hear this. As the Premier and government will know, without a legislative requirement to develop a policy, we risk continuing the status quo where institutional optics are sometimes allowed to trump student safety. For example, a student at Thompson Rivers University who was recently assaulted twice in one term was told, maybe you would be better suited to a different school. UBC made headlines last year when it turned out that reported cases of sexual assault on their campus were less than a quarter of those reported by the UBC RCMP detachment. And just yesterday at the University of Victoria, a student noted that she felt completely invalidated and silenced by a UVic investigation into her sexual assault. Addressing this has to be about our institutions, our students, and not post-secondary institutions. My question, through you, Honourable Speaker, to the Premier is this: what is the timeline for government to introduce such legislation?
Madam Premier.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I hope, I can't give a definitive timeline today, except to say I recognize, along with the member, that this is an urgent issue. A rapist's best friend is silence. A rapist's best friend is shame. A rapist's best friend is the failure of authorities to recognize a complaint when it comes forward and failure to act on it. We will not reduce the prevalence of sexual assault until we strengthen the institutions that are there to protect women, until we ensure that women feel safe coming forward and saying that they have been sexually assaulted, and they will only do so when they have the knowledge that someone will act on what they've told them and keep them safe. We have much more to do, and I welcome the members' active interest in this. I thank him for presenting his bill. We will work with him on it on an urgent basis and try and get this passed try and get something passed with respect to changing policy as soon as we possibly can.